Hi everybody, let's talk about replacing seed oil with lard. Terrible idea, but a lot of people apparently think it's great. So if you're following your typical online diet advice, in other words, if you're like a sort of conservative person who rejects vaccines and you like homeschooling and that kind of person, and you're online and you're accepting the dietary advice on YouTube and Twitter and wherever else that the algorithm has decided fit for you to consume, right? It's going to tell you, well, cut out all that harmful seed oil from your diet and replace it with lard and animal fat in general, lots and lots of dairy and eggs, fry your grass-fed steak in organic butter, etc., etc. So the algorithm and the AI is basically telling you, because remember, they decide what you see when you search on YouTube, right, for diet and health advice. They decide that everything you see is from, for example, the Weston A. Price Foundation, right? So they'll tell you basically you should continue eating a high-fat diet, just instead of having it be seed oils, have it be lard. And maybe they'll say, oh, well, you can continue to include some seed oil as long as it's EVU, extra virgin olive oil, or coconut oil, and anything other than that, just make sure it's like high quality, like pasture-raised animal fat. Okay, so the premise of WAP, Weston A. Price Foundation, and all the other sort of like dissident right style diet advice that the algorithm has given you to consume is telling you eat a high-fat diet, but as long as it's from basically pork lard and dairy and eggs, right? That's what they're telling you, right? The problem is ancestrally humans never really consumed a diet high in fat, and not for any period of time. I know right now the pagan revivalists are sort of like scoffing at me, saying, what do you mean? My ancient European pagan ancestors went on hog hunts and they consumed hog fat and hog this and hog that, and they love eating pork every single day, right? The problem with that, go back as far as you want, right? Ancestrally, for the past 400,000 years, for as long as our species has existed, which is around 400,000 to 500,000 years, ancestrally the primary calorie source has not been fatty meat or fat or eggs or dairy. It has simply been lean red meat from massive game animals, right? And smaller red meat game animals. And sure, they ate a bunch of other stuff as well, including pork, including lots of plant foods. But the primary calorie source and was lean red meat from massive animals. And the Weston A. Price Foundation followers hate this, and the fruitarians and raw vegans hate this. They both hate what I'm saying. It's inconvenient for them to accept this, but unfortunately it's true if you review the archaeological evidence extensively, as I have, right? We're talking mammoth, we're talking rhinoceros, we're talking aurochs. Even in the site in Israel where probably the oldest Homo sapiens remains have ever been found, which was dated to up to 420,000 years ago. One of the remains they found on the site, along with, of course, evidence of extensive consumption of plant matter and various other things, they found the oldest evidence of preservation of food, which is basically deer legs hung up with the marrow capped inside, sealed in a certain way to store it for a few weeks, right? And what is deer? Well, deer is a very lean red meat animal, right? So there is really no place for Weston A. Price Foundation dairy, eggs, butter, grass-fed dairy, pork every single day. There's no room for that in the human ancestral diet. It simply didn't happen. That's not to say that humans never hunted hogs. Of course they did. But the absolute primary calorie source most of the time was massive land animals that provided lean red meat. And that was the primary calorie source for humans. So that's why you see all these people following Weston A. Price Foundation advice, and a lot of them, especially the ones that are closer to middle age and older, have a hard time keeping the weight off. They're overweight and they blame it on not exercising. Really, it's just because they eat so much fat. They eat so much pork and sausage and eggs and dairy, because that's where the algorithm online, they don't even realize it. They're watching all these like dissident right YouTube videos about diet from all these like carnivore and Weston A. Price Foundation talking heads, and they're all telling them to eat a high-fat diet consisting mostly of animal products. Again, lots of ghee and butter and dairy and pork, and using lard instead of vegetable oil. So continuing to eat a diet high in fat, just replacing the seed oil with lard and dairy. So they're consuming that content, and look, I'm not impressed when I see somebody who's in their 20s and they're following a carnivore diet or a Weston A. Price Foundation diet and they're skinny. I'm not impressed, because try doing that when you're 50, right? The ancestral diet for humans should keep people reasonably healthy their entire lives if they're not doing other stupid things like dying of tooth infections, which is something that we did 50,000 years ago commonly. The other thing to remember is that an ancestral diet for humans was never perfect, and there were a lot of people that, based on the fossil evidence, people still ate stupid things and died from nutritional problems back then. So remember, nature is perfect in its own way. It's not perfect in the human way. So a lot of people assume there is some ancient perfect human diet. Like the fruitarians think there's an ancient perfect fruit diet, that if people eat that diet, they'll just be healthy. Meanwhile, you see all the fruitarians wasting away and dying, right? And having mental illnesses, right? Or they assume it's like the carnivore dieters assume there's this perfect diet where if you just eat pork and liver and a few other things all the time, and as long as it's raw and da-da-da-da-da, you'll achieve perfect health. And of course that doesn't happen, especially, like I said, when you look at the middle-aged adherents to those diets, who tend to be overweight, and they don't really understand why. Then those people in both those groups tend to give up at some point, and they say, you know what? Even if you're following the perfect human diet, you're still going to have health problems. That's just how it is, right? I strongly disagree with that. I think we have we can combine our modern nutritional knowledge with our knowledge of what humans consumed in ancient times, and we can actually achieve very close to perfect health. But like I said, don't look at examples of people that are in their 20s. You can eat pizza and burgers in your 20s and be in amazing health. So somebody who's basing their diet on raw liver and dairy and eggs in their 20s and be like, I feel great, I feel amazing. That's nothing to me, right? I need real examples, right? So when I see somebody eating that way when they're 50 and they're overweight, that's what's going to happen when you eat a diet that the Zog algorithm is telling you to eat, right? Whether you're eating, Zog algorithm is always going to push people towards unhealthy diets, because that keeps them coming back to consume more content, especially as the algorithm becomes more and more AI focused. So if you're into certain types of alternative things, it's going to push you towards the fruitarian, raw vegan, or fasting, and lots of weird herbal healing modalities. And if you're into the more like kind of like a more conservative, like meat-based kind of thing, they're going to push you towards, the algorithm is going to push you towards Weston A. Price Foundation and pure carnivore diet and lots of liver and eggs and dairy, lots of dairy. So it's going to push you towards those things, because those are what is making people unhealthy, as evidenced by all the people doing those things that never seem to last very long. There's all these young guys always saying, oh, this is great and amazing, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, you're freaking 23. You don't even know what you're talking about. You've been eating some diet you discovered on YouTube for 3 years, and you think it's the next best thing since sliced bread. So the AI is always going to push you in the direction of things that make you unhealthy, and until you recognize that and accept that your diet is what is making you unhealthy, then you're never going to break past that loop and try to figure out, well, how do you actually find good information out there? You're going to start to recognize what things to look out for, what diet and health guidelines are the ones that are pushed by the AI and by the algorithms. A lot of the people pushing these ideas are well-meaning people, and they're delusional. They think what they're doing is right, even though they have a lot of evidence to the contrary. They might have had a lot of people I knew have health problems and just lie about it online, and they say their diet is amazing, but if you know them in person, you'll see that they're lying about it and they have a whole bunch of problems, right? You're going to start to see these signs and realize, okay, now I kind of know what to look for when I'm searching for information on the internet. I'm going to start to notice when the AI is pushing me towards certain ideas. I'm going to see this sort of fanboy mentality, like Ray Peat followers who say they're peating, which I didn't even see until Dr. Garrett Smith started talking about it. I had never heard of it, but now all of a sudden I'm seeing these people on Twitter, and I'm like, what is going on here? It really reminds me of like the paleo diet followers or the raw vegans or whatever. The algorithm pushes them in a really hard in one direction, and there's a lot of like there's some interestingly correct things about each diet, but then there's also some really bizarrely incorrect things about each diet that make people unhealthy. Anyway, so the point of this video is to tell you, don't replace your seed oil with grass-fed dairy and lard. That's just stupid. If you do that, it means you're retarded. There was one guy who was explaining his diet to me, and he was one of those like dissident right types, and he was like, obviously he had just let himself be pushed towards the WAP, Weston A. Price type of thing, and he was like, my diet's pretty healthy. I tend to base my diet on grass-fed dairy and eggs and meat. It's like, wait a second. The first thing you said was grass-fed dairy. When in the entire history of humanity, all the 450,000 plus years of the human species, has our diet been based on dairy products, right? Well, the answer, of course, is never. It's never been based on dairy products until very recently when YouTube starts to exist. And then the third thing he mentioned is the one thing that actually the human diet was based on for hundreds of thousands of years, right? But it wasn't even, you could say based on that. It was the primary calorie source, but then there was also a large amount of plant matter, which back then was toxic plant matter, which our livers could probably handle 300,000 years ago, but now, of course, it has a hard time, and that's when it starts to get complicated. That's when you have to start to watch my other YouTube videos and read Genereux's ebook called Extinguishing the Fires from Hell, which is a free book you can find on his website, ggenereux.blog, ggenereux.blog. In his free ebook section, Extinguishing the Fires from Hell, he's going to tell you about the most important plant toxin that you should always avoid. For some reason, people eating the pure carnivore diet and the Weston A. Price Foundation diet, they love this plant toxin. They talk crap about plants all day. Carnivores say that you shouldn't, pure carnivore dieters say that you should never eat plants because of all the toxins in them, yet they all love this one plant toxin. They don't realize that's what it is. It only exists in high concentrations in certain animal organs because it's a plant toxin that concentrates there. You're going to learn all about that and more in that amazing ebook, which I think everybody should read. If I get a chance, I might even link it below this video when I upload it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, yeah, have a great day, and make sure you check out all the websites and stuff that I link below the video, and subscribe to all my channels, and it's going to be great.